The day that many people have been waiting for, apparently, has happened. Taylor Swift has jumped into politics. She has broken her long, non-political silence. Now, what side did she come out on? Well, let's get into that. Now, on Instagram, earlier on Sunday, the singer came out and endorsed two Democratic politicians while coming out publicly against another Tennessee Republican. Now, that Republican is Marsha Blackburn. Now, look, Marsha Blackburn is, by all rights, a horrendous person. And so she's been involved in a lot of terrible decisions. So, look, any good person would be against Marsha Blackburn. And so, Taylor Swift, congratulations, you are now a decent person. Wonderful. Anyway, at least when it comes to this. Now, she actually wrote on her Instagram, I'm going to read you some of that post here. She said, for Blackburn, her voting record on Congress appalls and terrifies me. Ooh. So, yeah, that shows you what she believes. Swift continues, she said, she voted against equal pay for women. She voted against a reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act, which attempts to protect women from domestic violence, stalking, and date rape. She believes businesses have a right to refuse service to gay couples. She also believes that they should not have a right to marry. These are not my Tennessee values. Fascinating. Fascinating. Now, not only that, but of course, you have her being in favor of Democratic Representative Jim Cooper, as well as Marsha Blackburn's opponent in the race. All right, so that's interesting. So we're finding ourselves in this weird time, this very strange and wondrous time, where Kanye is a Trumper and Taylor Swift is apparently anti-Trump, or at least anti-Republican. Crazy. This is, again, complete insanity. But then again, who isn't surprised? Back when Kanye and Swift were having their beef, I guess it makes sense. Who knew? But anyway, enough on that. So now she comes out in favor to Democrats. So what do conservatives? How do they feel about this? Well, this is interesting. Now, Dan Gaynor, writing for Fox News, wrote that, quote, Swift's open liberalism was clearly designed as a change in the narrative after Hollywood left lost the Supreme Court fight over Brett Kavanaugh. So Fox News immediately going into conspiracy mode, that it's just distraction from the Supreme Court fight from Kavanaugh. But the Democrats, by the way, one of them actually voted in favor of Kavanaugh. That was Joe Manchin. And Joe Manchin is a Republican piece of shit, even though he pretends to be a Democrat some of the time. But never when it counts. So that's fun. Tommy Lauren, our favorite bobble-headed blonde, not to say that all blondes are bobble-headed, it's just that she is. She also chimed in. She said, let's be clear, I'm not with Taylor and I'm not with Kanye. I'm not for celebrities that pop off shit they don't understand, period. Right. Speaking of popping, hey, Tommy, do you remember those tweets when, before you became internet famous for spouting conservative propaganda about popping that pee? I mean, you're going to talk about popping, right? Popping off? Well, you were popping something. Just saying. Okay, let's go from Lauren to Mike Huckabee. Now, this should be fun. Mike Huckabee says, So Taylor Swift has every right to be political, but it won't impact election unless we allow 13-year-old girls to vote. Still with hashtag Marsha Blackburn. Oh, see, I'm clever. Look at that. Well, you know what's funny about that? So in her post, she said, hey, you know what would be a great thing to do if people were to vote? So go register to vote in Tennessee. So, and this is one of the last days in a lot of states to register to vote for the upcoming primary. Or I'm sorry, not primary, but general election. So Mike Huckabee jokes about the 13-year-olds, right? But in reality, in the real world where the rest of us live, after that Instagram post, Vote.org saw a massive spike in voter registration. About 65,000 people registered to vote in a 24-hour period. Apparently, she doesn't have an army of 13-year-olds. She also has an army of registered voters. The Taylor bump could be real. Oh, no. Now, going back to more conservative outrage, I love this. Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA, went on Fox and Friends to basically lament how, oh, I can't believe the left has gotten to Taylor. My Tay, what have you done? Et tu, Brute? Oh, that was terrible. Continuing on, he said, what I used to love about Taylor Swift is that she stayed away from politics. Hilarious. Now, the biggest meltdown, however, is happening over on 4chan and some of the racist The Donald threads. The Daily Beast first reported a while back that members of the alt-right believed that Taylor Swift was secretly one of them, that she had white supremacist views. There was no basis of truth on that. They were speculating, and some of them considered her the Aryan goddess. Wow. Fast forward to today, or you should say a couple days ago. Oops. Not so much apparently one of them anymore. In fact, over at 4chan, the hate is palpable. Here's one example. Her career is over now, one 4chan user wrote. She'll now be used as an example of how bad it is for you to abandon your race. That says all you really need to know. And of course, speaking of white supremacists, the president also weighed in. In comments to reporters Monday afternoon, he basically said, oh, she doesn't know enough about politics to join the conversation. Of course, every time somebody comes out on the left, that comes out with a sort of leftist opinion, or at least a liberal opinion, every conservative is like, she didn't know anything. She needs to shut up, stay in her lane. That were you telling Kanye? Because Kanye knows absolutely nothing. Kanye is an idiot. And yet they're like, oh, Kanye, come here. I love you, Kanye. MAGA. Oh, MAGA loves you. You know what Kanye is actually interested in? Money. So Kanye knows that, and despite being an idiot, he knows that the Trump fan base is one of the most easily manipulated fan bases in the world. Again, they support Donald Trump. They believe everything he says. Kanye is broke. He wants to make money. So he's now sidling up to the president like, hey, MAGA, I'm your guy. Totally. At least that's what I think is happening. But that's just me. Now, back to Trump. Trump basically said, and this is according to a tweet from Rebecca Ballhaus, as a reporter, Trump on Taylor Swift endorsing Marsha Blackburn opponent, Phil Bredesen. Quote, I'm sure Taylor Swift doesn't know anything about her. Let's say that I like Taylor Swift's music about 25% less now. Okay. Awesome. I mean, I like her 25% less now. I don't know, man. This is fun. Watching the right melt down over Taylor Swift is probably one of the best things that I'll see today. And in reality, that is sort of kind of depressing. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.